Hi, my name's Justin. I'm a software engineer with PatchMyPC. In today's video, we're going to be following up from our general guide and doing a deeper dive of some of the options with PatchMyPC for IT pros. We're going to show you how you can use PatchMyPC to make your life of installing and updating applications much easier. I've already downloaded the latest version of PatchMyPC to a folder on my desktop. Now, if you're running PatchMyPC on multiple machines, a good place to run it from, since it's portable, is probably going to be a high-quality USB 3 thumb drive. That's going to allow us to easily retain the downloaded content and reuse the installers on multiple PCs. But in today's demonstration, I'll just be running it from a folder on my desktop, and all the same things should still apply here. This is assuming that you know some of the basic things and you've likely watched the general video of what PatchMyPC is and how it runs. So what we're doing now is we're going to show some of those more advanced options of doing things like creating baselines of applications, pre-downloading applications, configuring schedules, and things like that. The first option that you'll likely be using a lot is creating what we call a AutoInstall application. This would be an application that you would want to install on multiple machines automatically. So in order to do that, we would just start at the apps navigation, and then we could simply choose the applications that we would want to be a base application. So in my case, let's say that we want to put 7-zip, and we want to enable that as a auto-installed application. What this is going to do is it's going to download an INI file that's going to be downloaded into the same folder as PatchMyPC. So you want to make sure that they're always in the same folder. So if this is on a thumb drive, make sure that you keep that in that same folder that patchmypc.exe is located in. So we added a 7-zip here. Let's say that you also want to put Notepad++ as a auto-installed application. I'll go ahead and add that here. Now, we also do read the current INI file when it's started up. So if you have an app that's currently in there, we could also remove it here as well. The next thing that I'll do is go ahead and pre-download these applications. So I'll just go ahead and select them and select them. Now I'm using this as a template machine. So let's say that I don't necessarily want to install these on this machine that I'm running on. What we can do is enable the download only mode. What that allows us to do is download the apps into the cache directory, but we don't actually launch and install them on the PC that we're running on. The other thing that we're going to go ahead and enable here is what we call the IT Pro caching mode. What this option will do when it's enabled is it's going to create the cache folder in the same directory that patchmypc.exe is located in. If this directory exists, we're going to automatically default to searching that directory for content and downloading any installers that aren't currently downloaded into that folder. So this can be great if you're on a USB drive and you want to use the same downloaded content for installing applications on multiple PCs. So if we go ahead and run this, what we're going to notice is we're going to go ahead and download those applications. Since we only have download only mode enabled, you can notice that the installation was actually skipped here. So we just got the content downloaded so that if we were to run this on another machine, we're going to make sure that we have those installers cached so we don't have to go download them. A few other things that we have going on here is if we want to automatically close applications before we update them, we can easily do that here as well. We can disable auto updating of applications. So what that means is if you have an application that's out of date, by default when PatchMyPC is run, that application will show up in red and will automatically check that application so that it would automatically be installed. If it was a silent installation, it would automatically install, or it would be checked for us to click perform update. So if we disable that option, what's going to happen here is even if apps are out of date, they're not going to automatically install during a silent installation, and they won't auto check during the startup. We have the option to create a restore point before we install applications. If you want to disable the silent installation of applications, so if you just want Patch My PC to download it and then launch it, and then you could manually walk through the installation process, that's what this option here will do. We have the ability to enable the beta channel. So if you have an issue or if you're requesting a feature, we could potentially put that out to a beta channel first. And if you were to check this and restart, it would update you to any available beta. If you want to default 32-bit applications for new installations, so if an application isn't currently installed and you wanted to initially get the 32-bit version, we do have the ability to install that to begin with. So for example, we can see that 7-Zip, WinRAR, a few of these other ones that support both 32 and 64-bit installers, we can see that they just switched over when we told it to default to 32-bit. The restart after installing updates, that's going to restart your PC after Patch My PC gets completed with the update process. We also have a shutdown option here. One useful thing that we can do is append the computer name to the log file. This is actually probably something that you would want to do because we can see that by default we create just what's called a patchmypc.log file. So if you were an IT pro and you were running this on multiple machines, if you didn't have the appended computer name, basically you would have a lot of machines just writing out to the same log, and it might be hard to kind of troubleshoot what's going on for a specific device. If you want more verbose logging in the update text box, so what we're logging out right here, if you want more verbose information such as download URLs and things like that, you can enable this option here. If you want to change the log path, you can do that. By default, it's going to be logged out to the same directory that Patch My PC is located in. A few other things, we can delete desktop shortcuts for applications that are installed. A few other visual options that I don't think we'll really cover in this technical video. Now, let's say that these are settings that I wanted to save to my INI file. I can go ahead and click Save. And then what's going to happen is these are going to get saved into the INI file so that any other device that this was run on, it would automatically get those settings. So now if we were to restart Patch My PC, what we're going to see is we should have the two auto installed applications selected here to be installed. So under developer, we had Notepad++. We can see that that's auto selected. And we also enabled 7-Zip, and that's automatically selected here. So the point of the auto install is really to make it, if you had a base of apps that you wanted to install, you could get those pre-checked. Another useful option that we can enable is the auto start updates on open. So this can be useful when you're doing auto installs. So if we were to enable this option and restart Patch My PC, what's going to happen is we're going to automatically start downloading and installing updates because we have it to auto install and auto start updates here. So in our case, we can see that since we have download only mode enabled, let me actually go ahead and disable that so we can simulate what this would look like if you were running this on a new PC from a USB drive. So what you notice in the log file, we should actually see, oh, looks like I enabled that, but we didn't save it to the INI file as well. So we do by default store Any of these local settings, they do get stored in the registry. So I'll go ahead and show you where kind of those default settings would be. So by default, if you're just running this on a single machine, we're going to store all of the options that you configure under HKey local machine software, patch my PC, and options. So just something to note there, that if you're doing stuff locally, you know, that's going to be saved in this option. So if we were to clear that out, and if we were to remove the INI file, what you'll notice is that we should be back to basically a clean options, with the exception of the IT Pro mode, because that's based on whether that folder exists. Now, if we were to put the INI file back, go ahead and run that, we should start to auto install the applications now. So now you can see that we did actually see that we had the installer in the cache folder, and we actually installed that on this machine. You also get a bit more verbose logging in the actual log file, so we can see things like command lines and information like that. Now, we do have the ability to kind of look at what this INI is actually doing. So it's pretty simple to actually go in here, and if you wanted to configure options directly in the INI file, we could just uncomment out the semicolon. So these are the different options within the options panel that you can use in the INI file to auto check on machines without having to manually click it or store it in the registry. All the other remaining settings are going to be different applications. So we do base the configurations by the groupings. So it's easy to kind of go through and find applications. We can see that 7-zip, for example, since we went and selected that within Patch My PC, if I go and look at that, if I wanted to remove that, what you'll notice is that if we go back into the INI, we can see that it's been changed, and then we just commented that out. So all we're really doing is just uncommenting the application out when you choose to select that. So it could be just as easy to go in here and say, you know, say you wanted remote desktop connection manager, and FileZilla. You could just as easily come in here and save the file, and then if we were to rerun it, it should automatically start downloading and installing these applications. Okay. Now we do have the ability to also disable updating of a specific application. So if you, let's say for example, you didn't want 7-zip to be updated even if there was an update in the future, we can disable that. Now this is something that is stored locally in the registry. This is not a migratable setting currently, because we think that when you skip apps, you're most likely going to want to skip that on a specific machine. You probably wouldn't want to do that at the global level. So once you initially get things running, whether this is a base install and you just have a list of apps that you want to get on the machine that's at the latest version, obviously the INI file is great for that. Once you kind of get to that base and you're leaving the customer with the machine, it's probably going to be a good idea to go ahead and create a schedule. So Patch My PC will run on a schedule in the background to update any existing installed applications in the future. So I'll go ahead and just choose Save Suggested. That's going to just do 7 p.m. Daily. It's going to run silently in the background. All this is really doing is creating a scheduled task. So if you look in Task Scheduler, you can actually see everything that we're doing here. So it's just going to be a new task called Patch My PC. We can see the trigger is every day at 7 p.m. Now, if I were to go in here and let's make this 10 p.m. and then save that custom change, you know, if I were to come in here and look at this again, we can see that it's now 10 p.m. So that's all we're really doing is creating a scheduled task. The command that we're running is going to be the patchmypc.exe, and we're going to be either running that with a / silent or / auto command line. The silent command line will make it so that it's completely silent. If I were to make this visible, that would be where it would do / auto. So what that would do is just basically do like the auto command where we're saving that in the INI file, where it just automatically starts applications to install if there's anything to be updated, and it will kind of show you that what's going on in the foreground. Another useful feature within PatchMyPC is the uninstaller. So this would allow us to quickly go in and remove applications all in one place. So for example, if you wanted to uninstall 7-zip, we have the ability to automatically run the install if it's an MSI file. So if I were to choose that, it would automatically go out and try to run that. It looks like 7-zip has a lock on Explorer. So let me try a remote desktop connection manager. We can see that that just got uninstalled. One other common thing that you might run into is if you have multiple versions listed. So sometimes when applications are updated, they might not remove the old version properly from the registry, and it could be listed in here where you see multiple versions, and PatchMyPC may be detecting that outdated version from that entry. We do have the feature to delete the registry entry for the program. So if Notepad++, let's just say that there were multiple versions here because the old one didn't get removed properly from the registry. If we choose delete entry, what that would do is it would go out and delete the entry for that specific entry for the program within the registry. So that can be helpful if you do have those instances where you might have some program showing as red, but you know that you have the latest version. It's probably pretty likely that the older version didn't get uninstalled properly and the entry didn't get removed from the registry. We can also quickly uninstall an application directly from the menu here. So if I were to choose uninstall right here, that would go ahead and ask you whether you want to confirm to uninstall it, and then we would get the same dialog to initiate the uninstall of that application. If you want to get more information about an application, we can open the web page. So right click the app and open the web page. That's going to just take you out to the vendor's website if you want to get some more information about the application. You can also quickly go out to our forum page by just clicking this icon here. So we're always looking for feedback if you detect any bugs or want to request a feature for it. You can always go click right here in the forum, register, and go request any type of item that you might be interested in seeing added to PatchMyPC. With that said, that should cover the technical guide. We hope you enjoyed the video, and please let us know if you have any feedback or things that you'd want to see in PatchMyPC in the future.